Hello YouTube, another day, another dollar. This is Linnell again here with another Google Ads guide, except today this guide is going to be on how to generate high quality customers through Google Ads for epoxy flooring companies. So this guide is going to be from A to Z, everything except connecting the conversion tracking and building the landing page. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to set up your campaign, how to target the right keywords, and how to build your ad groups, and everything like that based on Google and the right way you should do it, so you're saving as much money as possible and you're producing as much business as possible as well. So stay through the whole guide because again, this is going to teach you A to Z how to run your Google Ads to generate high quality leads for your epoxy flooring business. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this. So first step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and click New Campaign here. Okay, and this is after you create your Google ad. Again, if you need help creating a Google ad, just go ahead and look up Google ad account creation on Google, and it'll walk you right through. Super simple, super easy. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is create new campaign, and then it's going to take you to here, which is asking for your campaign objective. Okay, I may need to plug in a charger here in the middle of this video, looking like my iPad here is dying. But what you're going to want to do is either click leads or website traffic. Now, leads or website traffic both work. Leads works obviously, right? Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking to generate more leads for our business. Website traffic also works very well. Yeah, this thing is dropping. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and plug this up here. I may just restart the video. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I was saying, leads work obviously, right? Because we're going after leads for the business. But something else that also works is website traffic. Because one, obviously, if you get enough website traffic to your high converting landing page, then your landing page is going to do its job of converting those clicks into customers. So you can either do leads or website traffic. The best out of these two, I would say, is probably just going for leads because it's more direct. And it's exactly what we're looking for. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and click leads here. And then what you're going to want to do is scroll down here to conversion goals. Now this, not super detrimental at this stage of the ad. As the ad grows and gets more data, you'll be able to optimize it towards what you exactly want. So right here, you can honestly just click phone call leads. That'll work just fine. Or you can go ahead and skip that and then click continue. Okay, now I explained these ads in my previous video. Don't really need to worry about them. The main ad you're going to be wanting to go after is search campaign. And what this is, a search campaign is essentially going to get you the highest quality lead because what a search campaign is going to show up for, it's going to show up for customers that are searching for your service. So if they search for an epoxy company near me, epoxy flooring contractors near me, and if you're clicking on search campaign, your ad will show up at the top, and it will look just like a website, and it'll be right on that search index that Google provides. So search campaign is the best option for you. And then if you guys need me to give you a crash course on all the other ads, you can check my before videos. They are with a different niche. However, I do explain what Performance Max is, what display ads are, what shopping ads are, what video ads are, and what demand gen is. But for now, all you have to worry about is search campaign. Okay. All right, so it's going to ask you select the ways you'd like to reach for your goal. You can do this. You can go ahead and put your landing page here if you want, also your phone number. I would at least just do the phone number. That'll be perfectly fine. But other than that, not too bad. Not too detrimental for your ad success here. Okay, so you can go ahead and click continue after you do that. Okay, and then for campaign name, I like to keep it simple. I like to keep everything uniform, so I would just name it the name of the company and the city you're working in. And then that'll be good for the campaign name. So after that, go ahead and click continue. Okay, it shows this. Go ahead and click start new. All right, so now it's the bidding. And you can either do focus on conversions or clicks. Now, what I do for a beginning campaign, considering we don't have any data, I like to go for clicks first. The reason being is that Google will focus on getting clicks, which gets to Google enough data. And then from those clicks, you'll understand as the ad grows what your cost per conversion actually is. And then later, as the ad is growing, you can switch this over to conversions, and then you can set a target cost per action. So that way you don't spend over that amount that you want to spend to get a phone call. And if you don't know what a conversion is when a click turns into a customer. So somebody clicks on your ad and then they turn into a customer. Also, I think I forgot to mention how important Google Ads are for your business versus all the other marketing channels in the beginning. So the reason I like Google Ads better than all the other marketing channels, and a lot of business owners like Google Ads, is because the quality of your customer is just that much higher. Because think about it. What do people do when they're looking for a service, right? Where do they go? Do they go to Facebook? Do they go to Instagram? Do they go to TikTok? Or do they go to Google, a search engine? Right? They're going to Google, okay? So when they go to Google, their intent to buy a service is that much higher than somebody just scrolling on Facebook. Like, I'm sure since you guys are all business owners here, or most of you, I'm sure you guys tried Facebook marketing and the quality of lead was just not that good. It's because that's what we like to call interrupt marketing. When you run Facebook ads, you're not doing intent-based marketing. You're doing interruption-based marketing, meaning that you're interrupting their scrolling, or, they're scrolling through the app, right? They're not looking for epoxy flooring companies. No, they're not looking for that. Your ad just popped up and they thought, oh, maybe I do want epoxy flooring, and then they click on the ad, but they're not super intent on actually going through with the service. Whereas somebody, if they search up on Google epoxy flooring company and they call you, well, they're ready to go, right? They're ready to buy. They're at least ready to get a quote. That's why they're searching on Google for companies near them. So just the quality, just based on that, the quality of customer that you get from Google Ads is just that much better. Now, yeah, it may be a little bit more expensive, but that's just the price to pay for a higher converting customer, right? So that's why I like Google Ads. That's why a lot of companies do like Google Ads over all the other marketing channels. It's just because the quality of customer that you actually get is just that much better. Okay. So back to bidding, okay? So like I said, for a beginning campaign, you want to go ahead and focus on clicks. The reason being, again, is because clicks are going to essentially get you enough data to understand how much you're actually paying to get a conversion, right? If you go with conversion off the bat, which, can work because, again, you're optimizing the ad as it grows, right? But one of the problems with possibly going for conversions off the get-go in the beginning is that Google may overspend your budget to try to get that conversion because it doesn't know what keywords are getting the clicks. It doesn't know what type of customers are clicking, right? It doesn't know what time, it doesn't know essentially anything. It's a brand new ad. So it may overspend to try to compensate getting that conversion. So that's why we want to go with clicks. Okay. And then what you can do, now you have two options here, is either you can set a maximum cost per click bid limit, so that way you're protected and you don't overspend on each click, or you can just let Google do its thing and figure out what your cost per click actually is. That's up to you. You know, if you have a tight budget and you don't want to overspend, I recommend doing the cost per click bid limit. And how I figure out the cost per click bid limit is I go on a tool called Keyword Planner by Google. It's right in your ad campaign, or it's right in your ad account. So if you just search up Google Keyword Planner, it'll take you right to your ad account, take you right to it. And then what I like to do is I like to narrow it down, narrow the search area down to my city that I'm marketing in, and then just type in the keyword, the main keyword that I'm doing. So in this case, since we're doing epoxy flooring, we'll do epoxy flooring. And then we'll see out of all the keywords that it shows us in the city that we're marketing in, which keyword service that we provide, we have to provide the service, is the highest CPC. And then what I like to do is I like to put my cost per click bid limit at least a penny above that. Okay, so let me just show you an example. Okay, let me just go ahead and show you guys an example here. Okay, so what you're going to do, so I just typed in Google Keyword Planner on Google, right? And it took us to this page. So what you're going to want to do is click on Discover New Keywords, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to do epoxy flooring, okay? And then you see below here where it says United States, that means that you're targeting the entire United States after you click on that. So what you want to do, let's just say we're targeting San Diego, okay? The entire city of San Diego, which is 7 million people, huge city, okay? Now you just click Get Results. And you'll see here, okay? So boom, you see here how epoxy flooring has 170 search volume per month, right? And then you'll see here that the top of the page bid high range is 1136. Okay, if you scroll down here, you can actually see which ones. Let's see if we can order it from expensive to least expensive. There we go. Okay, so garage floor, garage epoxy, and we can see, if you can't see it, what I like to do if it's not showing you the actual keyword is I like to just copy it, then paste it in the Google search bar. And then what that's going to do, it's going to show me, okay, garage floor coating near me. Okay, that's a long tail keyword. You know, if you offer this service, you can go ahead and look at that there. So what you want to do is go back to, sorry about that. Okay, go back to here. Okay. And then you can see here at the top of the page bid for the highest cost keyword is about $28.68, right? So what I like to do with that is I like to put my maximum cost per click at least a penny above that, because that's the highest. And keep in mind, these are tools, so they're not 100% accurate, but this is a pretty good representation, as this is from Google itself. So I'll put it as $28.69. Okay, and what that's going to do, it's going to keep Google from spending more than that on a cost per click. And then also, it's not too low of a cost per click to where Google can't even get you a click for those, you know, high buyer intent keywords, because like I was saying before, if someone searches up garage epoxy flooring near me, well, guess what they're looking for, right? They're looking for a company that can do garage floor epoxy near them. And So, you know, that's just why we like to keep that. That's why we like to not have our CPC too low, because we may miss that high intent keyword, which is a high intent buyer keyword, because those people are looking for somebody to do that. You can get a quote and then get a job for that, right? And some people may be looking at that, well, $28 per click, that's pretty expensive. Yeah, and like I said, this is Google Ads. These are high intent buyers, so the ad is going to be a little bit more expensive. However, the jobs that you guys are doing, especially in epoxy flooring, are expensive jobs. So it's going to make it cost effective, right? And once you figure out, how much it costs to do a job, and I'm sure you guys run the business, so you guys already know how it is. You guys can calculate how much you want to be spending on ads to actually get a positive return on investment. All right. So that's for that. I hope that made sense. Why we go for clicks in the beginning, so we can get data, and then later on, as the ad ages, we'll know how much we're spending to get an actual call, and then we can go ahead and switch it over to conversions, and then set a target cost per action, so we don't spend over that to get a conversion. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. So after you do that, you can skip this part. This is a little bit new for now, so you can go and skip that. Oh man, Google is changing a lot of things. So now they don't even actually have the display networks anymore, which is interesting. That's very interesting. They change things every single day here. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is go ahead and uncheck this box. Okay, the reason you want to uncheck this box is because if you go on the search networks, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of low value clicks, which is going to spend your budget really quickly. And the quality of those clicks just aren't going to produce any customers. So go ahead and uncheck that box. And just so you know, if you don't know what search network is, it has its definition right here. It's just basically showing on other Google sites that Google owns, just other search engines that Google owns, not super highly intent buyers. But like I said, you can still do it. You can still get clicks. You can still get customers. It's just you may spend your budget anymore. And like I said in the beginning, I want to make sure that you guys are spending your money wisely, and you guys are spending your money in the right way. So that way you can get a really good return on investment. So go ahead and uncheck that box. Okay. Then this is pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and put in your location or your city. Just understand that if you're going after a bigger city, your cost per click is going to be more. If you're going after a subvert of the city, your cost per click is going to be less. So if you wanted to so compared to you doing the entire city of San Diego, that cost per click is going to be higher than if you were to just go after a couple zip codes in San Diego. Right? So if you want to save money, I recommend going after zip codes, maybe the zip codes that you get most of your jobs at, running those zip codes, getting more money, and then expanding into the entire city of San Diego. So that way you're able to scale along with your ad, making sure you're making enough money to be able to scale at the level you need to be to run an ad across the entire city of San Diego or LA or any of the major cities in the United States. Okay, so go ahead and these parts are fine. You can go ahead and scroll past these parts. Don't need to worry about them too much. What you want to do is you want to click on more settings. Okay, and ad rotation, optimize, perform best performing ads. That's perfect. Don't need to touch that. What that means is Google's going to constantly show your best performing ads, so you don't have to do that yourself. Start and end dates. I recommend running an ad for at least 3 months so it can get enough data to understand that it's so you can understand if it's profitable or not. The lifeline of an ad is 2 days for policy review, 1 to 2 days for policy review, 5 days for the learning stage of the ad, and then about 3 months for the ad to get fully optimized and you to know what your cost per conversion is, what your exact cost per click is, what customers are clicking, and just to know the full run through of your entire ad. Okay, so that's fine. I wouldn't have an end date. If you want to run it for 3 months and have an end date, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. Ad schedule. So this is really important, guys. A lot of clients, especially in the local service industry, they like to answer the phone calls themselves, which works. Just understand that if you're doing a job and you can't answer the phone, just know that when you try to call that customer back, I'm sure you've experienced this in your business, the chances of that customer going to another company rises exponentially, and the chances of you losing that job rises exponentially as well. So what I recommend is having somebody who has a little bit of sales training. It doesn't need to be the Wolf of Wall Street or anybody like that. Just somebody with some training to be able to book these calls for you. That's on the phone, ready to answer calls coming from ads, so you don't waste your money, you don't waste potential customers, and you just you make sure that you're squeezing all the juice from the lemon per se. So the ad schedule, if you work from 9 to 5, go ahead and put 9 to 5 there, Monday through Friday, and don't run it on Saturday or Sunday because you're not working. Trust me, you will get clicks on the weekend and you will spend your money and you may get calls, but you're not working, so you may just waste your money. So go ahead and make the schedule to your schedule. Have somebody on the phone. If it's just you, it's just you. Just make sure you try to get back to that customer within 5 minutes of them calling. Okay, so that lead does not fall through the cracks. Okay, so after you do that, go ahead and click next. You could skip this part. Still like to keep it old school because old school works. All right, so what you can do here, this is the keywords, and this is super important, guys. This is really important, okay? You're going to see up here it says Ad Group 1. Okay, so think of the campaign as a hotel. Think of the ad groups as each individual room in that hotel. And then think of the ads down here as each individual room within inside the room within inside the hotel. For example, your bathroom, your living room, your kitchen, if the hotel has all of these things, right? That's what the ads are. The bathroom, the kitchen, the living room, right? That's what ads are. The hotel rooms are your ad groups, okay? Each ad group is its own hotel room. Now, what you want to do in each ad group is you want to make sure that each ad group represents one service that you offer, okay? One service that you offer. So if you want to make this garage flooring, garage epoxy flooring, make sure that each keyword in this ad group relate to garage floor epoxy. Okay, if you want to do another service like living room epoxy flooring, or each service, right, decorative epoxy floors, right, industrial, commercial epoxy flooring, okay, these are all different services, right? So you want to make sure each one of these keywords has its own ad group, whatever service you offer. You want to make sure that it's in its own ad group. And then what you're going to want to do is, now for the keywords, is you want to make sure each keyword is related to the service that you're offering. So let's just say we choose, for this example, decorative epoxy floors, okay? For this ad group, we'll do decorative epoxy floors, okay? All right. So now there's 3 types of keywords you're going to be using. One is called the phrase match. Okay. Don't worry about epoxy flooring right now. Just pay attention to the things I'm putting outside. So one is called exact match. And then one is called broad match. Okay, so to explain the difference between these 3, phrase match is essentially the phrase of that keyword has to match whatever the person is searching up. So say if you have phrase match around decorative epoxy floors, right? So if someone types in decorative epoxy floors near me, decorative epoxy floor company, decorative epoxy floors contractor, decorative epoxy floors photos, right? Your ad may show up for that because the phrase matches what they're searching up, as long as it's in that correct order, okay? Now, for exact match, which is the brackets right below this one, this is phrase match with the quotations. This is exact match with the brackets. Exact match is exact match, nothing else. So that means if someone searches up decorative epoxy floors and you have that as an exact match, that means your ad will only show up if somebody searches exactly decorative epoxy floors and nothing else. Okay, that's what exact match means. And then for broad match is just broad. Anything relative or related to epoxy flooring, decorative, your ad will show up for it. So for a search campaign, especially one in a local city, in a local market, there's no real reason to be using broad match. What you want to be focusing on is more exact match and phrase match. And what I like to usually do, the more long tail the keyword is. If you don't know what a long tail keyword is, I guess I can just have ChatGPT let you guys know what a long tail keyword is. But to kind of explain it, a long tail keyword is just a long keyword, right? So like garage epoxy flooring company near me. That's a long tail keyword. It's very specific. It's very long, right? It's very specific. It's a long tail keyword. What I would do for the longer the tail the keyword is I would make it exact. Okay, so what I would do for this example, if I was making this ad, I would make decorative epoxy floors. I can make that phrase match. That can possibly work. Just know that you may come up for like decorative epoxy floors photos, which you may not want to come up for. And you can add negative keywords as well as the ad develops. And that's really the important part about a Google ad, is letting it develop and adding negative keywords. But I would do like more phrase match for that. And then for like decorative epoxy floor company near me, I would make that exact match. And then the longer tail the keyword is, I would make that exact match. And you can utilize the keyword tool to find high search volume services, and then just see if it's a long tail one. If it's a long tail one, make it exact. If it's a shorter tail one, you can make it phrase. You can also do exact as well. Decorative epoxy floors, you can also do that as exact, and that may work as well, depending on the search volume, right? If you do exact, you want to make sure the search volume is there, because you may not get any views or clicks, right? So I hope that explained everything. And again, remember, you want every single ad group, you want to have it a different service, and you want to only be using broad match. You only want to be using phrase match and exact match in those ad groups. Okay. So next is the important part, because this is the copy. And I actually had a guide here of exactly how I like to structure the content here. But let's just go ahead and explain it to you guys. So what you want to do, go ahead and put your phone number here. What that's going to do is it shows up right here, so people can just click that, call you. They don't even have to go to your landing page. Okay. And then also another thing, per ad group, right? So it's I believe it's 3 ads per each ad group. Okay. What I recommend is building a separate landing page per each ad group. Okay, for decorative epoxy floors, make sure that landing page is just about decorative epoxy floors. That's it, nothing else. And then if it's garage epoxy flooring, make sure it's just about garage epoxy flooring and not kitchen, not living room, not anything like that, okay, for the landing page. Okay. All right, so you go ahead and put your landing page here. your verification. Um, yeah, like this is optional. You don't have to do that. And then you could just put right here epoxy flooring, and that'll work just fine. Or you can put your company name here as well. That'll work just fine. Okay, now this is the important part, right? Is the headline. Oh man, Google just updated this today. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, this is different. This is completely different. Google updated this today. So now, instead of having 15 headlines like they used to, now you can only put 2, which is honestly better. I see that being better. So now, instead, what you can do for the headline 1 is you can put, well, what I like to do for headline 1 is I like to put, I used to only put 3 headlines anyways. I think that was 15 was just way too much. You didn't know which headline was converting well. And 3 was perfect because you knew which headlines was converting. Anyways, what you can do for headline 1 is put who you are, what you do, and then how good you are at that. So, like, for example, #1 epoxy flooring company in San Diego, if you can fit that, right? #1 epoxy flooring company, best epoxy flooring company, right? Award-winning epoxy flooring company if you have awards, right? You want to just entice clicks. You want to entice people to click on your ad. You want to separate yourself from the competition. So if you have any accolades, if you're #1, if you're, things like that, you can put that in there as well. For headline 2, what I like to do is I like to put an incentive. If you have a crazy offer, you can put that in headline 2. Maybe 50% off epoxy flooring today, right? Free estimates, same day service, right? Something to incentivize people to want to call you now. Same day estimates, something to just incentivize people that's also different from your competition. You want to put that in headline 2. Okay, and then now it's asking for your business name, so you can just go ahead and put your business name in there, and then your descriptions, line 1 and 2. You want to kind of combine that. So you want to put how good you are, the best you are. Also, you want to put authority in the description. So 20 years in business, 15 years in business, 10 years in business, and then an incentive and a call to action, right? So #1 epoxy flooring company, 20 years experience, specializes in flooring. This, garage flooring, free same day estimates, call today. Example. Okay. And then just reiterate that and then put that in the description too, and that'll be perfect for you. Okay. And this you don't really have to worry about until you do conversion tracking. And then what I would do is Google doesn't give you the option. Google doesn't give you the option to add another ad here. But after you complete the ad, it's going to give you an option to add more ad groups because Google likes to have control over everything you do. That's why they're changing this thing every single day, it seems like. But Google likes to give you as least control as possible so they can spend as much money as essentially they want. Right, so what you want to do is after you complete this ad and it's running, you want to go back through and you want to add more ad groups and you want to add more ads. I recommend at least 2 to 3 ads per ad group. So then you can test which ad is actually converting, which one's getting you the most clicks, and then you'll be able to optimize and scale from there. Okay, once you're done with that, go ahead and click next. Okay, now here's the important part. This is the budget. So what I recommend doing here is, I'm not sure why this thing isn't charging. Technology, man. I'll tell you, technology, man. Be the death of me. There it is. Okay, so here's what we're going to be doing, okay? So for your budget, what you want to do, I recommend at least no less than $1,500 to $3,000 to really run a profitable Google ad. Because thing is, if your budget is too low, Google will not even show your ad. You got to remember, Google is a business, and their number one source of income is running ads. So they're going to prioritize the people who are paying them the most to show up at the top of the Google search. And that's where you want to show up, especially if you're paying for clicks. You want to show up at the top. You don't want to be at the bottom. So I recommend at least having $1,500 to $3,000 to run a profitable Google ad. And then, so what you want to do is you want to calculate your daily budget for the day. I recommend getting at least 5 to 10 clicks a day. So that way you're able to get enough clicks to get enough calls and really understand how well your Google ad is actually running. So if we can calculate that, right? Say our average click is $28, and you can change this as the ad goes on. But say your average click is $28. To get 5 clicks in a day, you would need to have okay, I said $28, right? So you do 28 times 5, $140 a day. And if you're running your ads 5 days a week, that means that you're spending about $700 a week. Times that by 4, it's about $2,800, okay? And remember, that's top end bid. You may be getting cheaper clicks than that, but that's just what I recommend doing. If your click's going to be $28 to get at least 5 clicks a day, $2,800 to test out to see if this Google ad is really going to convert for you. That's what I would recommend, especially if you're running your ad 5 days a week. So how do you calculate your daily cost? You simply just divide your cost by click. Actually, no, you don't divide your cost per click. You just divide your monthly budget by how many days you're going to be running ads. And then that's your daily budget, okay? So if you wanted to run $3,000 a month and you're running your ad 5 days a week, that's about 22 days a month you're running ads. That means you'll be running $136 a day. And it's that simple. Okay, go ahead and click next. All right, so obviously this is going to show a lot of red here. So it's not going to be, because I'm not really running an ad. But what you'll see is it'll be loading, and then it'll tell you your campaign is ready to publish. And when that happens, go ahead and click publish, and then you just let it rip. And like I said, once the ad is up and running, you can be able to add more ad groups and add more ads per ad group. So that way your ad is fully optimized. You're going after all your services. You're going after all your keywords. And you can start producing high quality leads. But yeah, so that's about it with this video, guys. Like I said, this was just a walkthrough of how to set up your Google ad in the campaign dashboard. I will be making a video on how to track conversions. It should either be this week or next week. But until next time, guys, you guys have a great time. Again, if you're looking for an agency to go ahead and run your Google ads for you so you don't have to deal with this on your own, and you guys can be sure that you guys have a seasoned team running your Google ads to make sure you get the highest return on investment as possible, shoot me an email below. Me and my team will get back to you as soon as possible, and we can see if we can put together a project to get you more business, get you more customers, and make you more money with your epoxy flooring business. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great time, and until next time.